June 1989. But before we get into that, here we go, people. This is the final wall in the room where I record these videos. I'm sitting on the bed, and I'm a little far from the computer, so hopefully the sound is okay. If I look squinty or do anything odd, I have bifocals. It's because my eyesight today has been acting up. Everything's a little blurry. But anyway, so the final wall, you can see behind me my Universal Monster curtains. Over here we have some prints from when Civil War II, the Marvel miniseries, came out. There was a print with every issue. Those are hanging on the wall. You can see my Justice League pillow. Up here, you can see a bunch of pop figures and things. And right here is all my James... well, no. A bunch of James Lovegrove. It's not all of my James Lovegrove. I've got some hardbacks over there and some Firefly novels that he wrote over there and some Sherlock Holmes that he wrote over there. Anyway, and there's some other random stuff. I'm trying to see where I'm pointing. Other random stuff, and this purple and red and blue, that's Warlock Holmes. Those are pretty fun. Up here, we've got all my Brian Keene. Again, I say all my Brian Keene, but you can't see the shelf above it. The paperbacks, regular paperback size books, mostly leisure, are up on the shelf above. These are the trade paperbacks and hardbacks and stuff. And then there's, all sorts of other stuff over here. You can't see all the Repairman Jack books. And then over here, we've got let's see, make a transfer. Which way am I pointing? There's all my DC books, and there's some up here. And then all my Edward Lee are up on two shelves, and some DVDs or Blu-rays and stuff. And you can just see I have 3 DVDs. Actually, one's a Blu-ray with glow-in-the-dark slip cases. Those are all on little stands on this shelf here. And they do glow in the dark very nicely. All right, anyway, that's the background. You want to know about June of 1989. Well, before I get to the books, again, I'm going to keep you hanging on. I have a little story to tell. June of 1989 is when I was leaving California. I decided to do a little traveling on the government's dime, so I put in for a transfer. I don't know what the hell they called it back then. So I got assigned to another base somewhere else in the world. You'll find out about that next time. Still keeping you in suspense. So this was my last month in California. And a buddy of mine flew out there for my last week, and we just I didn't have anything really to do. I wasn't on duty. I just had some paperwork and a few random things to do. So I had tons of free time. So my buddy and I tooled around California when we had the chance. We didn't get to go too far, but we did a lot of sightseeing and just hitting bookstores and stuff. And then the plan was to drive across the country, take a week, a nice casual drive from California to Ohio. We left on a late Friday afternoon, and in the middle of Los Angeles rush hour traffic, my transmission burned out, which did not contribute well to the traffic. So we got towed, and on Saturday we took the car to a place called Mr. Transmission, and they were really nice people. They hooked us up with a hotel because it was going to take a while to do all this work, and it was the weekend. We were right across the street from Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one is in California. I can never remember. Heated pool. It was really nice. Hung out for the weekend. Didn't get back on the road until Tuesday. There was a problem they found, so an extra day was added to everything that had to be done. So we got back on the road on Tuesday, and Tuesday night we stopped just inside the western border of Nevada, I feel like it was. And then because we'd unfortunately lost so much time from Wednesday morning until we got home on Friday, it was a nonstop drive. We stopped for the bathroom, stopped for food, and that was just drive-through stuff. We never, went in and sat somewhere and ate. Just drove through. But it was a nice drive. So got home to Ohio, had a little time off before shipping out to the place I will tell you about next week. So I think that's all I have to say. And now we can get to the books. And there's only 4 books, because again, a lot of stuff going on. So we start with a book I have a copy of, The Further Adventures of Batman. And this is edited by Martin H. Greenberg. 14 all-new adventures of the Caped Crusader. A lot of great authors here. Isaac Asimov, right off the bat. Stuart Kaminsky, William F. Nolan, Max Allan Collins, Ed Gorman, Joe Lansdale, just to name a few. So this was at the height of sort of Batman mania with the Tim Burton movies. They did a few others of these that'll pop up on the list. There's one just featuring the Joker, one featuring Catwoman, one featuring the Penguin. You might notice the Joker in the first Tim Burton Batman movie, Catwoman and the Penguin in the second Tim Burton Batman movie. Anyway, good stuff in here. This is one that I want to reread. Just to, some Batman short stories. Good stuff. Next up, we have Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Robert M. Persig. I feel like this isn't the first time it was on this list, but I didn't go back and check. I love this book. I remember loving this book. I haven't read it in a long, long time. I have read it more than once. And it's just a great... I remember it being just a great book about life and life lessons and Zen. And it really doesn't teach you how to fix a motorcycle, but what are you going to do? Next, The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul by Douglas Adams. This is the second Dirk Gently book of Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, and it's just weird. There's different things Dirk Gently's trying to figure out that may or may not be connected because everything's holistic. Not as good as the Hitchhiker's Guide books, but still relatively entertaining. And then finally, I should have looked this one up. Book of the Dead, edited by John Skipp and Craig Spector. This is an anthology of zombie short stories. They did 2 of them, and so now I'm not sure. Again, I should have looked this up. I feel like this is the one that has the story Less Than Zombie, which is a spoof of Less Than Zero by Bret Easton Ellis, if I'm not mistaken. I know one of the editions has a Robert R. McCammon story, one has Stephen King, but it's just great zombie stories. I do not have it, obviously, or I would be holding it up to show you. I wish I did. I wish I had both of these, both editions of it. But if you can find them, good luck. I haven't searched Amazon or anything, but I've never seen them at half-price books. And I think they're probably... I don't know that there's any new editions, so they might be a little expensive on the secondary market. Anyway, that's it. I read those 4 books in June of 1989 because I had so much more going on. So next week, you'll finally find out where I went for my final year of the Air Force. Oh, that's something I had to do in June of 1989 was extend my enlistment by 2 months because the place I was going was a 1-year thing. I would be stationed there for a year, and by the time I got there, I'd only have 10 months left in my enlistment. Actually, a little more than that. So I had to, if I wanted to go, I could have just stayed in California for the rest of my enlistment, but I did want to go someplace in the world. So I extended for 2 extra months. Oh, goodness. And I had to do that while I was in California, obviously. So there you go. This is kind of a short one, only 4 books. My story was kind of short, a little rambly, but what are you going to do? So if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comics, board games, and fuzzy animals, is Eric Smith 5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got. So until next time, read more books.